Just as the British corrupted the word Esan to Ishan, so also they corrupted other Esan words. So, for example, what we know as Ewo Imi today is initially known as Ewo Ihimi. Ewo Ihimi. That is a settlement of Ikimi. And Ikimi, who was Ikimi? Where did it come from? Ikimi was a migrant from the Benin Empire. So I'm going to be looking at the history. I'm going to be looking at the earlier settlers of various communities that formed villages that form the Esan land that we have today, so that we will be able to let them know how the Esan and the Benin are one, how the Esan are part and parcel of the Benin people. We're going to be looking at the history today. I'm going to be looking at Ewo Ihimi, which is now known as Ewo Imi. When you say Ewo Imi, it does not mean the place of the dead. No, it is Ewo Ihimi, a place or a settlement for Ikimi. And who was Ikimi? So I'm going to be looking at the history today, the history of the Ewo Ihimi, which is now known as Ewo Imi. I'm going to be looking at the history of the Uromi people today. So please power tap so that others can know that we are alive. Thank you. God bless you. Please power tap so that others can know that we are alive. We are going to let us look at the connectivity between the Benin and the Esan. Look at the connectivity between the Benin and the Esan. So we're going to be starting today. Today we're going to be looking at two communities in Esan land. They are Ewo Ihimi, which is now known as Ewo Imi. It was previously known as Ewo Ihimi. Who was Ihimi? And Ihimi was a Benin migrant or Benin immigrant. So please power tap, so that other people can be aware that we are alive. And please, if you can screen record and post it on your wall. Please power tap, thank you. Power tap. Power tap. Today we are looking at Ewo Ihimi, which is now known as Ewo Imi. It is not Ewo Imi, it is known as Ewo Ihimi. And who was Ihimi? Ihimi was a Benin immigrant. So the people that the first early settlers, or the people that founded what a place now known as Ewo Imi, was a Benin migrant who was known as Orihimi. That's how they got the word Ewo Oimi. So it is not Ewo Imi, it is Ewo Ihimi or Orihimi. It was a Benin immigrant that founded the place now known as Ewo Imi. It was the British that corrupted it into Ewo Imi, just as the British corrupted Irua. It was not known as Irua. So we're going to be looking at the original names to further expatiate and portray the point that the Esan people are Benin people. We're going to be looking at them. Yes, it is true that before the Exodus mass movement, during the reign of Oba Ozolwa, during the reign of Oba Ewari, there were people who were living in that land, now known today as Otesan. And who were those people and where did they come from? This idea that some Uromi people are propagating, that it was the Benin that came to conquer the Esan people. Let them tell me how the year that the Benin came to conquer the Esan people, since they said that Esan lived before. So please power tap. We're going to be looking at the history of two communities that form Otesan in Edo State today. We're going to be looking at the founder. The founder is the first settlers. They are known as the aborigines. When you talk about aborigines, we're talking about first settlers, people who lived before. The first people to live or dwell in a place. They are known as the aborigines or the earlier settlers. So we're going to be looking at two communities today in Otesan, which are Ewo Imi, which is initially known as Ewo Ihimi, Ewo Orihimi. So we're going to be looking at all these things today. So please power tap, so that others can know. The purpose of this history class is to debunk the fallacy, is to debunk the distortion of the Benin history by some, in quote, Uromi people. We're going to be debunking them. Yes, between 900 and 14 AD, that community known as Otesan was in existence. Yes, who were those people? Where did they come from? We're going to be looking at it before the Exodus mass movement. Yes. Ewo Imi. Yes, it is not. It is the British that corrupted it to Ewo Imi. It is Ewo Ihimi. It is known as Ewo Ihimi. That is, Ewo means place, a settlement of the Orihimi or Ihimi. Yes, it was the British. Yes, Ewo Ihimi. The Ewo Ihimi you know today, it is corrupted. The initial name is Ewo Ihimi or Ewo Orihimi. It was the British that corrupted it to Ewo Ihimi. Please power tap so that others can be aware that I'm live. We're going to be looking at two communities. We're going to be looking at two communities in Esan land. They are Uromi and Ewo Ihimi. Let's look at the history. Let's look at who were the earlier settlers. And we're going to be looking at, there are, call Paika, let me tell her history. I'm doing this thing also to respond to what Opaika said. She said I should tell her the history of our community. That is one of the reasons why I'm doing this live video today. So if you please, you can share to her. So that I will do a historical release or display of Ewo Ihimi. It is Ewo Ihimi does not mean a place of the dead. No, it is Ewo Ihimi. Ihimi is from the word Orihimi. It was the British that corrupted it to Ewo Ihimi. It does not mean Ewo Ihimi does not mean a place for the dead. No, or a settler or a place where the dead settle. No, it was corrupted by the British. It is initially known as Ewo Ihimi. We're going to be looking at them. We're going to be looking at the history. From the source. The sources of my research is from Williams Eizua Orupe. He's a lecturer of the University of Benin, History and International Study. We have St. Moses Eremosele. We have Okodua, Professor Ibrahim Okodua. We have Dr. Christopher Okoje. These are books that you have to go into in order for you to have a clearer picture of the history of the origin of the Esan people, Otesa. So it is true that before the Exodus mass movement, people were living in that land known today as Otesa. Who were those people? Where did they come from? We're going to be looking at that today. Two communities, Uromi and Ewo Ihimi, which is initially known as Ewo Ihimi. Please power tap so others can be aware. So you can go and distort Wikipedia, you can go and distort Google. I want you to know there are books well documented about the history or the origin of the Esan people. It is well documented. So for those of you sending requests asking, there are so many books you can read on the history of the Esan people. I also read books of Esan authors who were trying to debunk this history that the Esan people are not from Benin. So Esan authors wrote that they said the Esan people are not from Benin, and that is a fallacy. And I asked them, where did they come from? They said they come from beneath the ground and they fell from the sky, just like Oduduwa, who fell from the sky too. And that is a fallacy. The history of the origin of the Esan people is well documented. It's well documented. The other time I talked about the Uzea, I told you that Agbanoje was not the one that bought Obaozolwa. It was a consensus between the followers of Obaozolwa and the consensus of the followers of Agbanoje, Allah Agbanoje. It was a consensus, and it was Obaozolwa that was first by in connivance with the warriors of Obaozolwa. And there's a place in Ugboha where they call Otoihimi in Ugboha. That was where Obaozolwa was buried. Obaozolwa was not buried in Uromi. And so the people who live in Otoihimi in Ugboha, they are originally from Benin. Those were the warriors who were stationed in where Obaozolwa was buried to what? To monitor him in order to avoid discretion of that place where he was buried. There's a place they call Otoihimi in Ugboha. If I'm wrong, come on live and tell me that I'm wrong. The history of the Esan people is well documented. Please power tap before going to the history. Power tap. Yeah, the people of Uromi, they are originally, the father of Uromi community today was a Benin immigrant. He was a Benin immigrant from Indumoza in Benin City. The founder of the first settler of Uromi,
nothing like education.
Was a Benin immigrant, and he was from Idumota in Benin City. That is Uromi for you.
Book.
That is a Benin man that founded what is now known today as Uromi. It was corrupted to Uromi. Initially, it is what? Uromu. So, power tap, let's go to the history. Power tap. Yes, it is true. Between 900 and 1400 AD, Esan people were already living in that land, known today as Esan. Yes, it is true. Before the Exodus mass movement that took place in 1460, people were already living in that land known as Otesan. And who were those people? Where did they come from? We're going to look at the history today. Now, still talking about the history of the Esan people. It is no longer a news that the Esan people, the word Esan was derived from the exclamatory. Thank you. Was derived from the exclamatory word. So that was the question they asked, and that was the response. It's from that word Esan that they deduce the word Esan. Esan for. So let me read an epic for you. It says, just as Oromia arrived to rule the people already in existence in Benin, so the Beninese, fleeing from autocracy and the selfishness of Ewari, arrived various parts of Isha to dominate and in many cases to eliminate the primitive Aborigine settlers who through civil wars harsh rule of the pre-Oromia Benin kings known as Ogiso. So as far back as the Ogiso era, the Esan people were already in existence. Yes. As far as the pre-Oromia, that means before the arrival of Oromia to rule Benin, the Esan people were already in existence. Yes, between 900 to 1400 AD. Yes. But who were those people? Where do they come from? Who were those people? So please power tap. Uromi. The Uromi people, where do they come from? The people that make up the founders of the Uromi, a clan in Esan land today, were immigrants mostly from where? From Idumota of Benin City. The people that founded Uromi, that is a part of the Esan land today, were mainly immigrants. An immigrant is a person that arrives a place, a person that moves from one point to another and settled in a place is known as an immigrant. When somebody settled in a place, that person is known as an immigrant. So please power tap. So today, Uromi, the founders of Uromi, yeah. Those people that were Esan, who were they? The early settlers in that land, known today as Esan land, the Aborigines, they were what? They were people who were criminals or fugitives who ran for safety. Those were the early settlers of that land known as Esan land today. They were Benin people. They were no other people. They were Beninese. But it is true that between 900 and 1400 AD, people were already living in that land. But who were those people? They were what? They were people who were what? Criminals or fugitives. They were from Benin. They were those in the olden days when you banish people, have you ever asked yourself, those people that were banished in the olden days, where do they live? When you say you banish somebody, that person will go into the deep forest and be dwelling. So the Aborigines, they were fugitives and criminals of what? Of the Benin people. So that's why we said that the Esan people are Benin. The Esan people are Beninese, because the earlier settlers were fugitives and criminals from the Benin who left their community and went to go and settle in the jungles. Yes, it is true. Before the Exodus mass movement, people were living in that land. And who were those people? They were what? Benin criminals or fugitives. They were the earlier settlers who were living in that land known as Otesa today. So it is very clear. No other books have been able to debunk this assertion that was made. Even Egaleva also said it in 1968. Then in 1994-96, Christopher Okoji also said it. So those who are clamoring that it is a fallacy, you come up with your own belief. Tell us how the origin of these people were founded. In the pre-Oromia era, that means before the arrival of Oromia, people were already living in that land known as Otesa today. But who were those people? They were beneath criminals and fugitives. So it's very clear. It's very clear. It's very clear. No books have been able to dispute it. Yeah. And the reason why people left the mass exodus movement during the reign of Oba Ewari was because they believed that it was autocratic. They believed it was selfish. That was the reason why people migrated. That was why people migrated into the jungle. They ran away. They were fugitives. A fugitive is somebody who is believed to have committed a crime. In order for him not to be in prison, he will run away. That's what they call fugitives, criminals. Those were the criminals and the fugitives. They went to live in the jungle. They did their settlement there. And if you may ask, why is it that they were not known? Yes, they were not known because they were living primitive life. They were living a life of secrecy. That was why initially they were not known. The early settlers in that land, known as today, they were living primitive life. They were living in secrecy. That is what they said. So let me give you a brief history of the Esan people, of the Uromi people. He said the name Uromi was unknown before the arrival. You see it? Before the arrival of the immigrants, mostly from Idumota of Benin City. During the mass exodus following Oba Ewari, the great, the selfish, inhuman, and money law, it would be a mistake to think that there was no human settlement in the land today called Uromi before 1460. Yes, people were living in that land called Uromi before 1460. Yes, it is true. People were living in that land. But who were those people? They were Benin criminals and fugitives. The Benin didn't conquer the Esan people. There's no way in the history of the Esan where we were told that the Benin came to invade or conquer the Esan land. It is a lie. It is a fallacy. It is true. So there was never a war. The only time the Benin had issue with the Esan people were the Uromi. That is what the Benin Uromi war. It was between Ozoloa and Agbanuji. And it was because of what? Agbanuji was being rebellious. There has never been a time that the Benin fought with the Esan people. It was during Benin Uromi war that was fought at Uzea. So if you know you disagree, come and prove me right. It is history. It is history. You don't have to be. I'm not trying to downgrade the Esan people. I'm just telling them the history. The reason why I'm doing these things because the Esan people are saying that they are not Beninese, and me, I'm saying that they are Beninese, and this is how they be, and this is how they are. They are what? They are Benin. Thank you. My Oba is a Yoruba man. Thank you. I agree with you. You don't finish. I say you don't rest. The Esan people, they are Beninese. So look at what your brother said. Your brother said it would be a mistake to think that there was no human settlement in the land today called Uromi before 1460. Just as Oromia arrived to rule the people already in existence in Benin, so the Benin fleeing from autocracy and the selfishness of Ewari arrived various parts of Isha to dominate and in many cases to eliminate the primitive aborigines settlers who through wars, the harsh rule of the Oromia Benin kings known as Ogiso sought refuge. They sought refuge in the unknown jungles of Esan land between 900 and 1400 AD. You see that it will be wrong for you to say that people were not living in that land, that Esan land, before the mass Exodus movement during the reign of Obayewari. Yes, people were living in that land. Who were those people? They were Beninese who went to that land to seek refuge. That's why I said they were fugitives, they were criminals. They went to that jungle to seek what? Refuge. Okay? Oduma, that is history. History is sometimes good, history is sometimes bitter. But we just have to know that is how it started. You people should not debunk, you people should not distort history. It is here that it is wrong. It would be a mistake to think that there was no human settlement in the land today called Uromi before 1460. Yes, people were living in that land before the Exodus mass movement. But who were those people? They were Beninese. Who were what? They used that land, now known as Esaland, to seek refuge because they were Benin fugitives and Benin criminals. They ran into that jungle and started living. But when the Exodus mass movement came, that place, they now joined those people. That's why they now took over. Because they knew that those people were living, they now discovered that they were fugitives. They were people who came to seek refuge. And the ruling house took over. That land today known as Esan. Esan people are also prince and nobles. They are also prince and nobles. They became prince and nobles during Oba Eware's draconian laws. Because it was autocratic. They said that the reason why people left was because Oba Eware was believed to be selfish, was believed to be autocratic, and also the draconian money law that he made. These were some of the reasons why that mass Exodus movement came. It is from research. When I tell you something, I will quote the authority. That's how we were taught. But so that other people can get to know that we are alive. I'm going to be talking about the Uromi people and the Elohimi. I told you that Elohimi was corrupted. It is initially known as Elohimi. Ihimi is from the word Orihimi. It was a Benin man that also founded Elohimi. We also have Ewato. Ewato means a place of the of Ato. We also have a place known as Eloghosa. Eloghosa means a place of Osa. They were all brothers, including Ihimi. Ihimi or Orihimi, Ato, and Osa. They were brothers. These are how these places were founded. Ewato. It is for what? Ewato, Ato's place. Eloghosa, from the word, it is used to refer to Osa. Ihimi, Osa, Ato. They were Beninese. They were what? They were Beninese. The Orihimi is Elohimi. He founded Elohimi. Then Osa, Eloghosa. Then the one who have Ewato, Ato, now settled in Ewato today. These are all Benin princes. These are all Beninese who founded these three places, now form part of the Esan today. Elohimi, which is now known as Elohimi, he was a Benin man, was a Benin immigrant. We talk about Osa, Eloghosa, Benin. We talk about Ewato, Ato, Benin. They were all brothers. They were all what? Brothers, and they were all Beninese. So power tap. So when we tell them that some people are Beninese, they will be telling us they are not Benin. I'm going to be telling you today. You are seeing the history, you are seeing the name behind all this settlement. See by this settlement. It will be a mistake. It will be a mistake to think that there were no human settlement. A settlement is a place where we are. When I say settlement, it means a place where you have people. That's meaning of settlement. So it's like that. I'm reading the history now. Oduma, if you don't want to listen, you can leave here now. Why are you here? Me, I'm not here for saga. I'm telling you your history. We are telling you your history. Initially, they were fugitives, beneath fugitives. That be history. There's some people today, they are princes and nobles. That's why you see them, they are not in this land. They will tell us that they will say, the Oba Benin is their father. Yeah, they are princes, they are nobles. What did I talk? What you call it that nonsense for my comments? I'm not here for all these things. I'm telling you your history. When we talk about Ewato, Ato, they don't give it to Ewato, Osa, they don't bring it to Eloghosa. The Ewo Ihimi is from the word Orihimi. I'm telling you the history. Since you say not be Bini, immediately when I say allow not to talk, you guys are Bini. That's what I'm doing. Call me your piker. Let me tell you our history. When we talk about Uromi today, they are from Idumota in Benin City. Idumota, Uromi people. Idumota, but that vary, we do. Idumota, Uromi people. And then I'm for corn. The people who live in Eloghosa, now Bini, even live in Ewato, now Bini. Ihimi, Ato, Osa, they are brothers. And they are Benis. When we talk, now my brother, they talk. Go and read St. Moses Mosole. Go and read Okoje. Go and read Willis Orupe. Go and read Okuduwa. These are textbooks, not be Google, not be encyclopedia. They are textbooks. There has never been a time the Benis fought with the Esan people. The only time they had issue was Bini Uromi. And it was between Oba Ozoloa and Agbanoje. And it was an issue of rebelliousness. Agbanoje was being rebellious. Agbanoje was not the one that passed Oba Ozoloa. No. Both leaders were passed by a consensus reached by the warriors of Oba Ozoloa and the warriors of Agbanoje. It was the Benin soldiers that informed the soldiers from Agbanoje's side that it was time for them to strike Oba Ozoloa, and they struck him. He was buried, Oba Ozoloa was buried at Oto Ihimi in Ugboa. Those people there, the people from that community, Oto Ihimi in Ugboa, they are Benin soldiers who were stationed to guide the grave of where Oba Ozoloa body was buried. Why he said was taken to Benin. Oba Ozoloa was not buried in Uzea, he was not buried in Urumi. So when you see anybody coming to social media to come and say Oba Ozoloa was killed by Agbanoje, it is a lie. They are distorting history. It is a fallacy. That is what I stand to correct. The person who killed Agbanoje was Agobo. I will tell you that the people, for you to confirm what I'm going to tell you about Agobo, I will tell you about him. He was a soldier, or he was a warrior of the word of the Agbanoje. It was that guy that, when you talk about where Menuna Mesok Agbesa, all these are from history. The warriors, the people from Uromi wanted to betray the Benin. After the Benin connived with the Uromi soldiers to kill Oba Ozoloa, the Uromi soldiers wanted to betray the Benin's warriors. It was Agobo that came to ravage the situation. He told them that if they refuse to strike that part of the OD, that it will not be easy for them. That the return of the Benin warriors to Uromi will make the Uromi community to be in extinction. In the olden days, they what they call intertribal wars. Brothers were fighting brothers. Yes, it was because of selfishness and greediness. That was the reason. The only time we had this dispute with the Benin and the Esan was Benin Uromi war. And it was a war between both leaders. But that war was ended with the arrangement reached by both warriors that your leader will have to go, your own will have to go, so that there will be peace. Because the warriors of both sides were tired of fighting a war without no end. And the only way they could end the Benin Uromi war was to buy both leaders, Oba Ozoloa and Agbanoje. Agbanoje was the second Onoje of Uromi. And I told you before, I said it was Oba the first that created Onoje. And the reason why he did it was he did it to rule them, to bring them back. That was why Oba the first created Onoje. That was why I was annoyed. Most of people were saying that the Onoje of any Onoje from Esan is equal to the Oba of Benin. I was annoyed because that title of Onoje is a creation of the Oba of Benin by Oba the first. He created that title of Onoje. He did that in order to rule them, in order to bring the people back. I'm not the one who said it now. It is go and read up, Forces of Nature. Thank God you are here. It is because of you I started doing live video. Yes, it is because of you I started doing live video. You come and quote your whole history. Come on live, I will send you request. You come. The people who wrote this book, they were Esan people. Dr. Christopher Okoje, St. Moses Eromosele, Williams Ezowa Orupe. Go and read these books. So it's a lie. It's because of you. It's because of you that I started doing history about the Esan people. I will tell you everything about the Esan people because of you, forces of nature, so that you will not confuse people. You were the one that said Agba Noje was the one that died about Zoroa. Where? Lies. Both of them, they died the same year. It is, go and read the books. It says it's a lie. It's a people where they say we not able to live together. I will tell you the wars that took place among the Esa people. I will tell you the war. Uromi Ugaja war. I will tell you the wars they fought. And we're looking at the reason why they fought those wars. I'm not here for that. I will be telling you about the history. Let me go for that. Let me first strike the Uromi issue. Now, for the Uromi people, the founder of that land known as Uromi were who? Were mostly Benin immigrants. Immigrant from where? From Eloghosa. He said, during the Exodus mass movement, Oba Eware, the selfish, inhuman money contributed. It will be a mistake. Forces of nature, listen now. It will be a mistake to think that there was no human settlement in the land today called Uromi before 1460. You see history? History said that before 1460, people were living in that land known as Uromi. Yes. But who were those people? They were Benin people who went to that place to seek refuge. You come up. Come up. I will send you the question. Forces of nature. You come there. You tell me where you get your source from. You come up. Forces of nature. Come up and tell me where you get your source from. These books were written in 1994, 1996. Go and check it. St. Moses Eromosele, Dr. Christopher Bekoloko Okoje, then Williams Ezowa Orupe. These are the books. You go and bring your own. Yes, don't worry, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, how they dress like that. Yes, the Irua people and the Nupe, we'll talk about that one. Though they did not succeed. We will talk about those other issues. We're going to be talking about them. But let's first of all look at the origin. And we'll look at that dressing. They are not from Nupe. Now go sit down there. No, Nupe are from Nupe. No, they read book. Now, what people tell them they follow? Go and read your books. Which Nupe? Nupe that of yesterday. The Esan people have been existent during the era of Ogiso. They were there during the Ogiso era, 1900 to 1400 AD. People were already living in that land before the Exodus man movement. Which have been Nupe. People should leave my face here. Go and do your live video and talk about your own history. Before 1460, the people were already living in that land. Between 900 to 1400 AD, people were living in that land. During the era of Ogiso, people were already living in that land known as Otesa. But that is not to say that there were no people living in that land. Yes, who were those people? Who were the people living in that land known as Otesa before the Exodus man movement of 1460? That is the question. So during the Ogiso era, the Esan people as a community was already living, was already in existence. Yes, it is true. It is true. And they were who? They were Benis. And who were they? I'll talk about the Egwaris. Don't worry, I'll talk about the Egwaris. That won't be a problem. Talk about the Egwaris. It's there now. The founder, look at it, the founder of the first settlement in Uromi was the second of the three brothers. The three brothers, all sons of an early Oba's wife, Oaha. The three brothers, Ato, Osa, and Orikimi. They were the three brothers that founded that community. I said, Ihimi is Ewo Ihimi or Ewo Orikimi. Then Ewato, Ato. It's another brother to Ihimi. Then we have Eloghosa, Osa. They were three of them. They were Benis. They were Benis. And they were from where? They were from where? They were from Eloghosa of Benin City. It's very clear. I'm very clear about this of Roman people. That's very clear. Uromi. So the people there that what they are Benin immigrants from where? From Eloghosa of Benin City. They were the founders or the early settlers of the Uromi people. Yes, get it very clear that it will be, listen now, it will be a mistake. Record it and post it. It will be a mistake to think that there were no human settlement in the land today called Uromi before 1460. You see it? Before 1460, that Exodus map movement, people were living in that land known as Uromi. Yes, but who were those people? They were mostly immigrants. Mostly immigrants. Who's immigrant? Benin immigrant from where? Eloghosa of Benin City. Yes, people were living in that land during the Ogiso era. We agree. Between 900 to 1400 AD, people were living in that land. They were Beninese who used that land as a refuge. That's why they said, according to the Esan historians, they all agreed. They did that research, and they all agreed, yes, people were living in that land during the Ogiso era. But those people were Beninese who ran to that place to seek refuge. And they were what? Fugitives. When we talk about fugitives, that means somebody that ran away in order not to be in prison. We call them fugitives. Some of them were criminals. The Esan people are princes and nobles. When people now came and joined them during the 1460, I told you that the title of Onojeship was established by Oba Ewari I. He used that one to woo the people. To woo them is to bribe them, to make them feel happy. That is to woo. WOO. That was why that Onojeship title was established. He used it to as an incentive to woo them, to make somebody come to your part. Come to your part. That was what happened. Yes, people live in that place. That's what he's saying. So the Beninese, fleeing from autocracy and the selfish of Ewari, arrived various parts of the Esan. Now, when you say Esan, if the British want to pronounce Esan, they will say Esan. So when you see somebody say Esan, it doesn't mean that it's a bad word. It is that is how the British pronounce Esan. They will say Esan. So it's the same thing. To eliminate the primitive Aborigine settlers. Then the primitive Aborigine settlers, they came to that place because of what? Civil wars. The harsh rule of the pre-Oramian Benin king known as Ogiso. You see it? Those people were elders, living settlers were there. Through civil wars. When you talk about civil wars simply means that is a fight among people of the similar characters. Like for example, we talk about the Nigerian Civil War. When you say Nigerian Civil War, it was fought by Nigerians. So that's the meaning of civil war. It is now we they fight ourselves. That's what they call civil war. That's what they call civil war. So that is that during what known as Ogiso era, they sought refuge. Look at it. That land was used. That land called Esan land were used by Beninese for what? For refuge. In the unknown jungle of Esan between 900 and 1400 AD. These early settlers who left Benin, you see, these early settlers who left Benin in inconsequential numbers. Inconsequential means it was not systematic. It was a different time, disorder. Disorder we call inconsequential. This is a consequential. That's what he said there. It's not a process of nature. Not me talking more. Now your brother and I talking. Go and read St. Moses Eremonfele. Go and read Dr. Christopher Belokoto Okoje. Go and read Okuduwa. They are all historians. Go and read it. Don't go to social media and be telling people lies. Go and read it. He said those early settlers, that aborigines, were what? They were Beninese who left Benin in inconsequential numbers. Were either criminals. You see it? They were the people who founded that land called Esan today were Benin criminals or Benin fugitives. They used that land jungle. It was a jungle. That land was used as a refuge. Jungle, Esan land. That land today, Esan, they were jungles. And so look at it. And when those Benin fugitives were living in that land known as Esan, what they would do, they had to lead the secretive. They were hiding. That land was like a hideout for the Beninese fugitives. They were living primitive lives. They were there so that nobody would come and know that people are living there. They live primitive lives. That's what he's saying. And so they had to live the secretive. Secretive is fearful, weary, and timid lives. Timid, fearful life. Why were they doing it? So that they will not be what? They will not be found out. It was a hideout for the Beninese in the old days, before the Exodus movement in 1460. Yes, people lived in that land known as Esan land today. But who were they? They were Benin fugitives. They were Benin fugitives. That's why we say the Beninese and the Esan, they are one. That is history for you. That is the history, that they are one. Then, that is it. Then let's look at the further this thing. He said the founder of the first settlement in Uromi. The founder is the people. When you say founder, it means people who first lived in that place. The founder of the first settlement in Uromi. That Uromi today was the second of the three brothers. Urikimi, Ato, Osa. They were three brothers. They were the second of the three brothers. And they were all the sons of an Eri Oba's wife called Oaha, Oakha. They were the three sons of the Oba's wife known as what? Oaha. Eri means he committed sacrilege. That is Eri, Eroing, committed sacrilege. That's why you see they went to that place as a refuge. Because in the olden days, that Esaland was a jungle, Ebono. Was the second of the three brothers, all sons of the Eri Oba's wife called Oaha. To save her life, the dutiful and loving sons escaped with her into the jungle, where at least there was a chance of surviving hunger, pestilence, and wild animals. Naya me woman who or master the Mawar web boni, or woman web or another man where Amo Harrod or wild animals. We will still go there. It is better we go there than we to stay and be by. That is what they said now. Not me the talker mo. Na Esan auto. Na the talker. Now what is now they talk when they say so Esan people they cry. They say they cause division. And now after they cause division. And they talk about the history of our business and Esan and one. They say they cause division. Then to save our life, that they did this. Then there was a chance. Then with Oaha in Benin, how done at the hand of the angered husband was setting. After wandering for months, they reached a spot where the second son called Egbele, a man handicapped by mutilated finger and toes. You see it? They met people. And what? Mutilated, a man handicapped mutilated tree. Though they had but a safe distance between their mother and their virgin Oba, their father, Asupo Dudu, the senior, who was in command of the escape, said that the anger of their father, Oba Egbeka, would not limit as a result of that. The son, cheated by him making his vengeance on Oaka impossible, he would transverse jungle, hop east and down to get to this victim. Therefore, he cancelled going further so that the Oba would take them as dead possible falling victims of the ferocious animals that they rule the veggie jungles. They went deep, deep, deep. They were closer, but they went deeper because of the fear that they could be caught. Now, Egbele said that far was the limit he could go with his handicap, locomotion, and what have you. They were just talking. He said during the organized mass exodus of Benin in 1460, therefore, those who finally reached the present Uromi area found human habitation. You see it now? During the Exodus movement, when people left, they now found that people were already living in that land. They saw people there. He said many of the early people who came to bear company, second brother and brother, that's it, you say, and what have you. But the key word is that during the organized mass exodus of Benin in 1460, therefore, those who finally reached the present Uromi area found human habitation. That place was Otoegbele, and these people can be taken as the aborigine settler of Uromi or even Isha. It's very clear. It's very clear. So it was during Oba Ewaris, during the time of Eba, when people came, then they now brought, it's like, we know them now. Now we they ruled them before. So we don't still come here, we still continue to rule them. That's how the ruling class took over. Look at what he said there. He said the members of the ruling house were the leaders of the organized immigrants who left the disintegrating Great Benin Empire in 1460. So there was not war. Those two, the ruling class too, they ran away because of the autocratic and selfish law made by Oba Ewari. They too, they left. When they got there, they saw people there. But those people were Benin fugitives. Let me talk. Now, my Esan brother, now they talk. All of them agree. Dr. Eli Okoduwa is of the AAU. Erupe is of the Uniben. You have Christopher. He's there. Saint Moses Edemosele, Esan Otto. Then the members of the ruling house were the leaders of the organized immigrants who left the disintegrating, you see it, disintegrating Great Benin Empire in 1460. The disciplined body had 3 leaders of note, and all said to be what? To be brothers. They were said to be the founders of the ruling house of Irua, Uromi, and Ubiaja. You see it, in their migration, they left their people to a place here they found human life at Egbele. At a point today marked Aluto Egbele, they stopped for rest and division of the property. That's how you see there. They share the property. So it's very clear. So I hope that one is very clear. Let us look at the clans that make up the. Let us look at the clans. The clans. Egwari. Under Egwari, there's a place they call Egwari in Uromi. Those who are living Uromi people, forces of nature, you be Uromi, Mari Mosole. Look at the list of my people. Please power tap. In Egwari, we have Okuje, we have Odigwele, we have Ikeki Yala, we have Oyomo, we have Okerale. These are people, these are places that make up the Egwaris in Uromi. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Forces of nature. Tell me. No, I'm not lying. Look at it now. He said Agwari therefore have 2 distinct groups. The ruling family was founded by Esan. The Esan, whose senior brother Ogu was the leader of the second batch of deserters from Benin City. You see it? Deserter, that means somebody that ran away. Deserters. The majority of these original men came from what? The Dumosa quarter of the Benin. You see it? In Egwari, in Uromi. He said, a majority of these original men means earlier settlers. They came from Idumosa quarters of what? Of the city, that is Benin City. Now, Ishesa, now Onoje of the new settler of Egwari, soon surrounded himself with servants, slaves, and men seeking protection. Thus, right from that time, is that what I view is very clear. But the key word there is that the majority of the original men were from Idumosa of the Benin City. That is Uromi people. So if you know you disagree, come up. Forces of nature. Oh yeah, now because of you, now I can't begin to come live. They talk about the history of these people. So you go, will not stop disturbing your book. He asked me, what year was this book written? Go and make your research. Let me want to tell you the book. Go and do your research. I did my research. Go and do your own research too. You think it's easy to have sleepless nights because of people like Forces of Nature and Remosole distorting our history, fabricating our history? Fabricating our history here. Now look at that one is already gone there. The Egbali people. Then look at Egbele. The Egbele. Who are the people? I hope I'm pronouncing it well. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying on the comment section. We have the Egbele. The Egbele. This is the oldest settlement in Uromi. Egbele. In this oldest settlement in Uromi. But for the domineering attitude and the actual superiority of the newcomers, the early settler of Egbele could have remained distinct from the rest of Uromi, which was made up of the Onoji and his family and subsequent immigrants who came to join him. People were not coming. People were wrong go Germany. They don't really come back to Italy again. If I say Germany favor them, people from Italy will still move too and go to that route. That's how people started migrating from Benin to that land. That land called Esan was the jungle of the Beninese. The Beninese owned that land. The Beninese owned that land. Dr. Evi Okoduwa, History, AAU. Williams Orukpe, Ezua Orukpe, University of Benin, History and International Study. Then we have Dr. Christopher Belokoto Okoje. Go and read these books. These are history books of the Esan people. Go and read them. In all these books that I've read, none of them disagree that the Esan people were not from Benin. They all agreed. And even those who were trying to disagree, they now said, I will fall on a hard down. Let me show you a book. Where's that book I was reading yesterday? I was on one lesson. I will fall Esan people have now. Where's that book I was reading yesterday? Yes, I was reading a book yesterday. Look at it. An ethnographic study of the origin of the tribe and tribal. Look at what this fucking Esan man said about the history of the Esan people when he was trying to debunk the history given by that the Esan people have been. Look at what he said. Look at what he said. This man's name is Esan Land, Edo State, Nigeria. An ethnographical study of the origin of the tribe and tribal. Williams Ezua Orukpe, Department of History and International Study, University of Benin City, Nigeria. Look at what he was trying to debunk that the Esan people are not Benin. Look at what he said. Look at it. Your brother, when they were trying to debunk, they said the Esan people are not Benin. They are not Benin. Even Dali even agreed. He said, Dali agreed that the Esan people are Benin, but he now said, no part, that is not all of them. Leave that one. The people that wrote these books, they did what they call oral interview of the elders in Esan land many years ago. The elders. The people who own a place, they know the history more than any other people. They interviewed them. They asked them. They were writing it. They were writing it for them. Look at what this guy said. Look at what he said here. And look at it. Forces of Nature. Go and read an ethnographical study of the origin of the tribe and tribal. Esan Land, Edo State, Nigeria. Written by Williams Ezua Orukpe. He's a lecturer in the Department of History and International Study from University of Benin. That's why I graduated from University of Benin. I'm a product of Uniben. Look at what he said here. Look at it. He was saying that the history of the Esan people is based on myths and legendary. Wow, really? It's based on myths and legendary? When there are people living, he says it's based on myths and legendary. Like serious? Let me read it for you. He said, across Esan land, the tradition of the origin of the individual chiefdoms, Esan, that land today, before the Onojes became Onojes, through over Ewale the first, those Onojes were known as chiefdom. They were chiefs, chiefdoms. When say chiefdom, that means a place where the head is the chief. They were not known as Onoji. It was Obaewari that changed it to Onoji in order to woo them. He created Onoji. The title Onoji or Emeje in this land was created by Obaewari the first. He did it as one of those things as incentives. Incentive. When he discovered that people left because of the draconian money law that he established, he also decided to say, okay, if I can make a pronouncement and make people to run away to leave, let me also make a pronouncement that will also encourage people to come. Then he now changed those chiefs to Onoji. It is about the first. Forces of nature, if you think I'm lying, come and tell me that I'm lying. I'm not doing history of fallacy. I'm doing history the way it is. History sometimes is good, sometimes is bitter. But we have to say it the way it is. Then, across Esan land, the tradition of the origin of the individual chiefdom differs. I'm reading from Williams Ezua Orukpe. He's a lecturer of international history and international study of the University of Benin. Look at when he was trying to debunk that Esan are not Benin. Look at what he said. Esan. Look at what he said. He said, across Esan land, the tradition of the origin means the beginning. The origin of the individual chiefdom differs from one community to another. But what is not debatable is the fact that they are rooted in myths and legendary tradition. Like serious? That is Williams Ezua Orukpe. He said the history of the Esan people is based on what? In myths and legendary tradition. That is a fallacy. That is a fallacy. Myths. It's a fallacy. When people were interviewed, when you look at sources of history, oral interview, it is the primus inter pares method of collecting and analyzing history. The people who lived in those settlements, you will meet them. My great-grandfather said, like for instance now, my maternal great-grandmother is from Auchi. My maternal great-grandmother, she's from Auchi. She's from Auchi. Before she died many years ago, when I was very little, she has Igu mark. Igu. She has Igu on her body. But she was from Auchi. I will find out from my uncle the particular village he came from. Auchi. My maternal great-grandmother. She had Igu mark. And she said she was from Auchi. I think it's around Ire. They have Igu mark for identification. That Igu mark too, Obaewari also introduced it. That was another thing he did in order to draw the people back to their initial settlement. That's what he did in order to bring them back to the initial settlement. Look at what he said. He said it is based in myths and legendary tradition. That is fallacy. That is abuse of history. He said the Egoro, Opoje, Ewu, Uromi, and Ewo Ihimi, not Ewo Imi, Ewo Ihimi, people of Esan trace their origin to the high heavens. He said these people, Ogoro, Opoje, Ewu, Uromi, and Ewo Imi, he said they fell from the sky. That was what Williams Ezua Orukpe said. Is that one not an illusion? Look at it. He said the Egoro, Opoji, Ewu, Uromi, and Ewoimi people of Esan trace their origin to the high heavens. They fell from the sky like Oduduwa. Funny, hilarious. From the sky. While in some quarter, it is believed that their founders emerged from underneath the ground. I want to wakere Esan. The person who said this thing that I'm quoting now is Williams Ezua Orukpe. All these are attempts to distort history. In order to distort the history of the Esan people about the connection they have with the Benin, you will end up messing up with yourself. Look at what the lecturer wrote. That they came from heaven and they come from beneath the ground. And forces of nature. People from ground they germinate. Now plant where they germinate. Look at what he said here. Underneath in 1982. According to Ewu tradition, R.O.E. Babri writes that Esan ancestors was subsequently conquered by the Oba of Benin, who took him to Benin and gave him a wife and follow. Is that not fallacy? Is that not fallacy? To tell you how the Esan people have been trying to distort the history that connect the Benin with the Esan. They end up disgracing themselves. That is what he says. He said it here. That people of Uromi and Ewoimi, that they fell from the sky. That they fell from the sky. How can people fall from the sky? So that is a fallacy. That is a fallacy. So let us look at the next one. Idumu Oto Egbele. This one is the same thing. The same thing is very clear. I've been able to establish that the Roman people are Benin's. That is the major thing I want to establish first of all. They are Benin's. That one has been established. Look at the people from Arwe in Uromi, Arwe, Ivui. I've not been to that place before, but from my research, I know that there is a community known as Arwe, Ivui in Uromi. I know there's a place there, Arwe. He said, Arwe people, look at the Arwe people. He said, some part came from Musea and Ekperi. You see, and in those days of terrible superstition, I'm not talk that one. I'm not talk that. Let them not go cry. I'm not talk that. Let them not go cry. Let us look at Eve. Let us look at Ivue. I-V-U-E. Ivue. I've never been to Ivue before, but I'm from the research. He said Ivue, the second batch of the Beninese who left Benin City during the time of Ewari, the selfish and headed for Esan country, were mostly from Idumosa quarters of the Benin City. Idumosa, Idumosa, Boedoba. That's why I said that the Uromi people, they are princes and nobles. I don't know why they want themselves to Ovien. They are princes and nobles. That is why the Anonoje in Esan will say the Oba Benin is their father. Yes, it is history. They know their history. The books I'm reading, it's a documentary now. It's like if I want to know the history about my village now, I will go and meet the elders in my community. The elders will be telling me where they come from. I will jot it down. I will go and ask and ask and ask. At the end of the day, I will come to a census. He said they read book. Not a book that they read. I did here. Let me go and use my critical thinking. Go and analyze how to know whether I'm true or not lie. How can you say somebody came from the ground, or somebody fell from heaven? When I do critical thinking, I know it's a lie. It's not possible for somebody to fall from heaven or come from the ground. It is a lecturer that said it, that your brother, Williams Izua Urupe. He said you people came from heaven. That some of you also fell, or some of you also dominated from the ground. No matter. It's how they read book. What do you read? Look at it, Ivue, in Uromi. Look at it, people came from Idumosa. Idumosa that very do Ivue. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, bros.
Yeah, bro, I greet you. I want to especially thank you for the information, and I want to, I don't know if you permit me to correct some aspects.
Okay. Yes, we're dealing with the history now.
Initially I was asking what was the topic, because I've been seeing this on TikTok, a lot of people fighting each other, as regard this tribal issue. I want to quickly say Edo and Esans, they are the same.
Thank you.
And no dispute. Henceforth, it's not proper. Our royal father, we have a royal father, the Oba of Benin, is our king. I'm not from Benin precisely, but I will tell you I'm from Benin.
Okay.
I'm from Igweben. And in Igweben, where we know our history,
okay,
we are descendant of Benin. We migrated in the 16th century to Igweben. And I believe some Esan's community also migrated probably in the 11th century downward, So they are Benins. But I wouldn't like a situation where people would say they are our children. These are very assertive words. You shouldn't use that. It look as if you are superior.
No, you will challenge them now. As you said, that you will challenge them. Like when I said the Asian people are priests, they are priests and nobles.
What you have been reading since by Orupe, I also read history in Ekpoma AU,
okay.
2017.
You know the Dr. Elimi Okotuwa? I've also read his book.
Yeah. So I knew what you are saying. The history you wrote are not incorrect. They are all correct. You understand?
Yeah.
The Benin, it was an empire. Benin was an empire. So this empire spread up to even outside Nigeria, beyond Nigeria. You understand? Benin is a great place where people want to.
It's like Benin is just like an headquarter. Say maybe that's it for village. It's for everybody. The Benin city is not only for the Benin, so it's also for the Esan people.
It makes me look somehow like I begin to feel somehow when I see more intellect, fighting. For what? Why are they fighting? Just 20 kilometers away. Esan is just 20 kilometers away from Benin. It doesn't make sense if I keep hearing from Benin, you are from Esan, Laha, this snake. It doesn't make sense. It sounds stupid. I know I've been fighting this injustice going on TikTok and Facebook. A lot of people putting our royal father, our pride. This is our pride. Omonoba is our pride. We have Eniges. Yes, fine, cool. But the king is our pride. If I was born in Lagos, I was raised in Lagos, though I live in Europe now, but I was born and raised up in Lagos. You understand what I mean? So in Lagos, we used to, when somebody asks you, where are you from? We say we are from Benin.
Yes.
We never said we are from Esan.
God bless
we
you.
said we are from Benin. Okay, we can initially say, okay, we are from Edo. You understand? And they say, we're in Edo. I say, I'm from Benin because I didn't actually know there was Esan until I gained admission in Ekpoma. You understand? That was when I knew that, there is Esan. You understand? And I used to think, Esan is part of Benin. There was nothing like separation. And I wasn't raised in a way that they will not tell me, look, you are this is that. You are this. No. I wasn't told this. You can see our Enoge came out recently to put his stop on this.
But how do you know that the Onojo of Igwebe was attacked? When he came out and said that we are Benin.
Yes.
So they were attacking.
Yes, I was fighting that. I was fighting that.
Is it fair?
It was this. I think there is a misinformation somewhere, and
so that's what I'm trying to inform them now.
Yes,
and they are not. I'm doing this history. I'm not causing. I'm not trying to cause confusion. I'm trying to make it clear that we are one.
Those people you see doing these things, they were probably born in the village. You understand? And in that villages, probably they have this. There was no sensitization. Like they were being told that, hey, look, something happened in the 11th century. There was a decree, a draconian decree that made a lot of people, this wasn't cool. Everybody was really very sad. When you read that history, I read that part of history, I wasn't really cool. You understand about it? Yeah, it was a very, very,
they said that law was draconian. It was autocratic and it was selfish. I said it now. I'm not going to talk now.
But this is not a concrete reason to hate. So because I see a lot of Esans have experienced some friendship, within Esan and Benin. I see the differences. I know, like some Benin will say, I know these are lack of education. Like some people will say, Esan, they are betrayers. I didn't see any betrayal.
Me, I've never used that word, my brother.
Yeah, I know.
Let me tell you something. Me, I've never used that word. Well, I would like you because I have no right from time that we are one.
Understand?
That word that you saw now, something transpired. You understand? Something transpired between our forefathers. That is one bad thing about history. But today we are living together. We do Esan and Benin, they do things together. If a Benin man is doing naming ceremony now, Esan people are friends that are there. Likewise, Esan man is doing something, the Benin will also join them. That's how I do my things.
Yeah, I want to quickly say this, bro. Like some people will say the Eniges in Esan land, they are chief or something. No,
listen.
They are not chiefs.
Listen, they are not chiefs now. They are Enoges. And it was Obaewari that changed it from chiefdom to Onode titleship. That was one of the things he did to woo them, haven't made his draconian law that make people to go away. It's very simple now. There are no J. There are no subject.
I want to explain this issue of Enojes, brother. Please let us not be sentimental about it. It's good to get the narrative right. Enojes was created by Ewari. Before Ewari, there is nothing like Enoje in Edo land.
Yes.
He created it for government to spread across. That is why you cannot. There's no land in this world.
Tony Omo, hold on before you continue.
Yeah.
He did it as one of those things as incentive.
Yes.
He did it as an incentive. That is one. Then two, he also did it so that he will also have access to them. It's like it's like when you put me there now, I will not be accountable to them because the people refuse to return. They refuse to return.
Yes.
So he started bringing things into place.
Creating energies to control the territory. To have the territory controlled. That's what he did. Energy is not only in Esan land.
Yeah.
I want to tell you another one again. Energy of Okbe is not denying it. He also created that king there. So energies were created by Ewari to spread across Benin government, the government. In the Anama side, energy was not created there. They call them Obi. That Obi means Oba, but they cannot call them Oba because there's Oba. They now called Obi. It was all Benin Empire offices. So in those days, when people refer to those people as Duke, it's because of the ancient days. If you want to look at it, let us look at it from the inside. There's no land that have more than one king. Esan is a land. Esan is a land. And if Esan have a king, it should be one king of Esan. So there's no land that have more than one king. See, Esan and Edo were the same people. So to have the administration spread across the different places, a Enoje statue was created by Ewari. Because Ewari actually spread the kingdom. That's what happened. But today, after the colonial era, I'm coming. After the colonial era, we do no longer refer to Enojes as, let me say, part of, subject to the palace or something. They are now kings on their own. Because after the conquest of the Benin, we are now under Nigeria. Benin Oba is more concerned about the Benin space. So the Esan control their space. The Enojes control their space. So there's no more interference like that or like before. So that is why today we refer to them directly as the king of each places they are holding. So
yes.
It was
Let me say something.
I want to correct another.
When you say they are king, it does not mean they are the same. They are equal to the Oba of Benin. That is what
No.
to correct them. That when you say they are king, the owner of Europe, when you say he's a king,
I want to also correct.
But that does not mean that word title of a king is equal to the Oba of Benin. No. That's why we say that they are duke. Like the Oba of Benin is a king. That's not mean they are part and parcel. And the Onoje in Esan land, they are not slaves. So without them, the Oba cannot be everywhere. The Oba needs them, they work together.
We agree.
So does it to Samuel, thank God.
Now, good morning.
Welcome.
So, what's
Please introduce yourself.
That's why people refer to it like that. It was like that.
I don't
before it was like that.
Oh, mommy.
The Enoje of say this to you. I thought this one. The Enoje of Urumi is a cousin to the Oba, to the king. It was the Portuguese woman that had two sons for the Oba. The son created the kingdom in Urumi. Go to that.
Tony, please. I don't want to go far. I just want to be confined to the founder of Urumi. Maybe subsequently I will go deeper. But today I'm just talking about the Urumi people. Are they Bini? Who are the founders? That's what I just established. So, Samuel, please talk. 2 minutes.
Hello, sorry, brother. I get you.
I want to collect that place. Good morning. There's something that this brother said that Benin always use something snake also or anything to degrade the Esan. If you want to go to that place, there is something that Esan also said to degrade the Benin. These are excuses of what they are doing now. because all tribes have something to degrade each other. If you are not looking at that point, that Benin said they are our children, they are our this, that means it's this sentimental. You are also heard some people have something to degrade the Benin also. So we should not look on that area. Because we all have opinions of all those things. I have had a lot from the Esan, the same you have a lot from the Benin. But what we are in here is that we are brothers.
Yes.
That's what we are in here. We are not here to talk about how they degraded Esan. The Esan
Thank you, Mommy. God bless you.
degraded Benin.
Yeah.
Please, we have to correct that area.
God bless you, man. So, Samuel, don't worry, 2 minutes.
My brother, contribute when you say why the first or introduce Enige.
Yes.
You want to correct me because during the time of the last Ogiso Wodo, so when they go bring a Kaladera come from Ife, may come be the king there before Kaladera send the son Romeo come. So now he meet the person who gave birth to about Eweka the first. Now I know the princess Ahimide. Now I know the beginner. So I know the don't they exist before Oba Ewa the first come now. Abi?
He's not talking about the Noge of Benin. Any Esan land.
Okay, that one you go talk so. That's what I'm telling you now. That title Onoji, they were known as chiefs before. That was Obale. Do you agree or you disagree? I want to know. If you say okay, then you tell me the source that you read it from. Then we'll correct it.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
So let me read something. I said before that they were known as chiefs before. Even when Sorupe agreed that they were known as chiefs before the time. What I'm going to say is this. I said Uromi people, they be Bini. Now that one not there after. When I read something, from there you begin to debunk and accept. That's what I'm doing. Let me read the history of. I said before. I said Esan. It's a word that was derived from Esanfua. Look at what this guy said now. It's the Esanfua tradition. The Esanfua tradition holds that the origin of the Esan people is traceable to the 15th century when they dispersed. No, you see it now. Yes, they also came. But another source that I read said that the Esan people have been in existence as far back as 900 to 14 AD. You understand? They have been in existence as far back as that. But the Exodus, the real one we say can't be obvious. Now be this one of Obaewari. So if you agree, you disagree, then you tell me. Then he said, and when they dispersed from during the reign of Obaewari the first, to protect their human rights and freedom, and an expression of their rejection of the Benin draconian legislation, Okoje used the linguistic uniformity between the Esan language and custom with that of the Benin people to support the Esan school of thought of Esan people origin, Okoje 1994, providing further insight into the tradition of Esan origin. Okoje opines that this man Okoje I'm talking about now, he did one-on-one interview with the elders of the communities in that make up the Esan clan. If you want to know the history of a place, it is the elders. And it was written in when? In 1994. It was written in 1994. So if you disagree with what I'm saying, you will tell me the source. I will go there. Then we will not reach a consensus. Providing further insight, Okoje opined that Okoje said that it was the selfishness of the Benin monarchy. You see it? I will read it the way he said it. He may find what I can wear about this one. Sometimes in those days we were operating what we refer to as absolute monarchy. In absolute monarchy, once the Oba says something, it is final. Once the king says something, it is final. That's what they call pronouncement. They were operating absolute monarchy. Ogawata Omasayone. So some of the disadvantage of absolute monarchy was that the kings or queen, they were selfish, they were greedy, they were autocratic. So it is normal. History has good and bad side. He said what? It was all the selfish that was providing an insight. The selfishness of Benin monarchy under Oba Ewari that triggered the Esan secession from Benin in pre-colonial Nigeria. That is the demographic and geographical separation of Esan from Benin as we have today. That is how the Esan separated from the Benis. But that does not mean that they are not Benin. They are Benin. They have left to go and settle their own to establish their own settlement. Yes, it is normal. But what we are saying is that the Esan and the Benin, are they one from history? Yes, they are one. Then how? I'm giving you sources. I'm telling you how they become one. Then let me just, I talked about a little bit about the Uromi people now. That one has been established. I want to go to Opaika village. Ewohimi. That place you call Ewohimi today. Ewohimi. It is the British that corrupted to Ewohimi. It is Ewohimi, a settlement of Orihimi.
Now, my brother, let me just quickly. This is our brother from Igwa Iben. He said that Igwa Iben, we have never talked anything about Igwa Iben. Igwa Iben did not disagree with the Benin that they are not from Edo. Igwa Iben, you see when the Royal Highness came out of Igwa Iben to settle the whole issue, they attacked the Royal Highness of Igwa Iben, which we respect that man a lot. That we also even attack those people also. It's wrong. His Royal Highness of Igwa Iben is also our father, so they should respect him.
Of course.
So, Igwa Iben, we have never had any problem with Igwa Iben people. No. Igwa Iben know where they came from. They know that.
They were brought up now. Now this
God bless our Royal Highness of Igwa Iben. All those curses that they lay upon themselves, it's upon themselves, not to that man. It will not go to him. It's our father. So thank you, my brother.
That is succession. So what we are saying is that the Esan people are Benis who succeeded from Benin and established their settlement. That is what I'm saying. I'm not preaching hate. I'm not preaching division. Who are the Esan people? The Esan people is that part of the Benin who succeeded, who did succession or succeeded from Benin and established their own settlement. It is very simple, very clear. So that is that. So it has been established that the Uromi people, they are who? They are from where? They are from Idumota in Benin City. That is the point I want to establish. If you disagree, you can come up. Forces of nature, if you don't say you disagree, come up. Me know they do what they say it's a lie. Are you mad? Are you stupid? No. I'm doing history. I'm doing history. So let us look at a little bit of Opaika's village. Opaika, when I share this message to Opaika. Now Opaika, that time me say make a content in history. Me don't know say what they do, say they wound them. So let us look at Ewohimi. I said before, it is the British that corrupted it to Ewohimi. Ewohimi does not mean a land of the dead. No. It is Ewohimi. The British corrupted it to Ewohimi. It is originally known as Ewohimi. That Ihimi is from the word Orihimi. So those days, in the olden days, or those days, when brothers are living together, in order for them not to have dispute, they will say, okay, you go and establish your own settlement. Where we act your way. Or we act your way. That's why they will call it Eloghosa, Ewato, Ewohimi. The three of them were brothers. Go and establish your own settlement. You go and do your own. Ewato, Eloghosa, Ewohimi are the same. Let us look at the history. Look at the history. He said the history has to do with, when we talk about history, we are talking about major events, the record of major events that occur in the past. It is not everything that occur in the past that is being recorded. No. The significant ones, you have to record them because they are significant. Are you getting it now? So history does not mean the record of past events. No, it is the record of major, significant past events. That is history. So that's why I said, because of this Esan, it was a major event that occurred in the past. That's why it is in our history. That's why it is in our history. So when we talk about origin has to do with begin. have something begin settlers. So that is that. Now, the history of Elohim, I said it is known before, or the correct pronunciation is Elohim from the word Orihimi, but the British corrected it to Elohim. Now, he said the correct name is Elohim from the original name Orihimi. Orihimi was founded. Isana, Orihimi, that is Elohim, was founded according to some elders. No, he said according to some elders by one of the immigrants from Benin. Elohim or Orihimi was Elohim is also known as Orihimi or Elohim. That Ihimi, according to some elders, was founded by what? A Benin immigrant. Opaika village. Now Benin immigrant. Now established. From what? Evo. The correct name is Elohim. From the original name Orihimi. Orihimi was founded, according to some elders, by one of the immigrants from Benin, who came followed by two of his younger brothers. And two of his younger brothers. And his younger brothers were who? Osa and Ato. Where we now have Eloghosa, Ewato, Elohim. You see it? So Ewato, Eloghosa, they are younger brothers to Elohim. It's very simple. That is the history for you. Very simple. He said the correct name is Elohim from the original name Orihimi. Orihimi was founded, according to some elders, by one of the immigrants from Benin, who came followed by two of his younger brothers. His name was Ihimi, Elohim, Ihimi. When we talk about Elohim, it is a settlement or a village of Ihimi. It's very simple. From the name, you will know the founder. He said, by one of the immigrants from Benin. Yes, Ihimi was a Benin immigrant who founded Elohim. The Elohim, they corrected it. It is Elohim. Ona, Owenahin, Ona, Orimenahin, Ewato, Owenowosa. Ewato, Orato, Ewosa, Owosa, Elohim, Igwewenahin. They shared it among themselves. They were brothers. If you know I'm lying, come as a sign request and debunk me. The point is that Elohim again is also founded by a Benima, just as we have in Urumi. The issue is very simple. Very simple. Then he was followed by two of his younger brothers. His name was Ihimi, and his younger brothers were one Osa and the other one Ato. You see it? Osa, and the other one was what? Ato. In that order of seniority, that is Ihimi, Osa, Ato. Ihimi na Jen, Osa, Osana do Jato. That is what we call in that order of what? Order of seniority. It's very clear. Order of seniority was Ihimi, we have Osa, then we have Ato. So that Ewosa was named after Osa, while that Ewato was named after Ato, while Ihimi was named after Elohim. They were all brothers. They were all brothers. It's very clear. I don't know where they got their own, where they will not be saying that will not be Bini, not be Esan. Esan not be Bini. We're going to forget that one. We're going to read that from. Now, because you're not a refined state, now we're going to call it talk life for social media. Not a refined state. If not a refined state, we will follow now, agitate for Esan state. So that make our location, make it high. But now go meet people who get that land. When the author was doing his history of Elohim, he went to go and meet the elders of Elohim. He went to go and meet the elders. If you want a state, go and meet the elders. Where we want Esan state. Don't change history because you want Esan state. Don't change history because you feel that the Onoje in Esan land, they are answerable or they are being supervised by the Oba of Benin. It is nature. That is not a problem now. That's not a problem. It's not anything.
Hello,
So,
my brother.
good morning, Yakman. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you.
Ross, can I say something?
Yes, right. Yeah, that's why you're here now. You're here to only listen. Only here to speak.
Yeah, you are talking about, you mean that they did not know that this thing is truth?
It could be they don't know, or it could be that they okay, fine. Like a good question, my brother. Like forces of nature. Forces of nature said it was Agbanodi that Bao Baozolua. So what do you have to say about that? Huh?
What?
Forces of nature. Now we be boy. He talk say na Agbanodi na Bao Baozolua.
And the year away there, and the year even not even this Agbo Kosun. He still they talk about 3 years ago, about 2 years ago.
Okay. Why it can't be like that, my brother?
Wait till I see my brother. Don't be say they don't know the truth. When they come here saying I Benin person, that's what they talk and say which is saying I Benin man can't find out. And that's it they pay them all. They don't want me the year saying I Benin find anywhere our warriors. They don't want to hear that thing at all. Even when you go to Yoruba and Lagos, like the same thing that they fight, say, how can Benin man come fight the code? Like that, it not be said they don't know the truth too. They want destroy it. They want remove that Benin, may not the day anywhere, may they not the year. Now they pay them for inside. See that guy way.
What do we need to do now? Since we know say that one they want to do, what do we going to do? We will come and they talk as a being.
Yeah, the way you they talk now is a very vital.
And the even know that some people
they don't go happy. You see that one now call attack you now say Benin they call some people our children. Normal, like we now we don't come up for Nigeria. Some of our brother and our sister they Germany, they Italy, France. If our father want talk, our brother, the other one go say. Some of our children, they day UK, they day all these things. It's not a disrespect.
Don't mean anything.
It don't mean anything. Maybe if they want to talk like they feel say we Benin, our children still they Benin that side though. They be our children, they be our own. Why do you know so everybody get the way they put things? Like the way that they talk say cola not. That thing waiting we not know. They don't really establish that thing. We come meet her. We not feel the kick against her.
Now nobody Benin and Esan. Even where
I talk one thing about this cola not. When I get company for motor show for this on those states. So there was a land purchase we did. So the ballet come one have meeting with us, the Edo people. My uncle was there, everybody was at the place. So when we want to break on a lot of meeting one start, now my uncle calls whether they forget traditions in Benin the now one of the elders for them because that tradition has long been forgotten. Now the ballet said no, the Benin man, do the cola nut. He said just one little exercise, all right. So that thing not be yes, that all over the empire it be like that. Then so during the time of the empire. So people still practice it. Once they don't practice it anymore. We don't need to fight over that. Now we think our fathers established with that. If no problem to you, you stop one for your family. Not because it's the one they drag us.
Okay, sorry, I want to interfere. I'm back again. Sorry, Uyekbe, my brother. I want to counter what you said. Probably you misinterpret. No, I will not do this time. I want to interpret. Probably you misinterpreted what I said.
Before you attack, please let Mr. K. Moruye talk first, please. We follow like
don't worry, one after the other.
Yes, thank you everybody for giving me the floor to speak. Good morning. First things first, my point is that, like Uyekwen said, that these people, they are aware of history and they are trying to, distort history purely because I think it could be an underground scheme of things that is being planned by the elites in Esan, probably to just change the narrative so that obviously, like you have also highlighted, they can get their state. which is not necessary to do that, because if you come together and discuss with everybody in terms of Benin elites, our royal traditional stool, you will definitely, in fact, get your state, because this is Nigeria. Also, we want to ensure that we have more higher allocation.
Revenue allocation.
Yeah, revenue allocation. So the fact that the traditional stool of Benin is the father of all traditional stool in Edo State, it shouldn't be any reason to cause chaos amongst our people. So this is the major problem we have, because even the traditional stool in Esan land themselves, the royal highnesses in Miwa, in Uromi, Ekuma, all of those places, they are not disputing that fact. But I think there's an underground arrangement to create this, problem that we are having. And I don't think it's the best for both Esan people and the Benin people. So I think there's room for us to sort of see how we can come together. Probably these traditional rulers are able to call all of these people or people online who are, fighting against or fighting for Esan land and Edo people to come together and preach to them the truth, because we are all at the same time, we are all siblings and we are all brothers and sisters. Yeah, that's my submission. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now you can talk now. Hello? Hello, Flesh. Maybe they're busy.
Is they busy? Am I going?
Am I going?
Okay, I don't know, because here we know they do segment.
So, Mr. Tony.
Someone.
May I contribute for that kola nut issue? Where somebody they say it has been long forgotten. That one a pure lie, a pure fallacy. Even 2016 years.
Listen, I tell you, Samuel, sorry to cut you off. Some people they don't agree. Some people they don't agree. This way you talk so kola nut. I don't see how to read where I live for Italy.
I tell you, even 2016, when our father ascended the throne of our ancestors, when he go visit all those, when he go thank all the lot of traditional rulers when they come from, go thank them, pay them thank you visit. When he even go to the Oni of Ife, when they want break, when they bring cola come, when they want break cola. Now our chief there. Now they break the cola. They even talk say Oba talk me where so now you where so Edo Yodio. They break the cola now they pray put. So that one now it still they exist. It still they exist till today till tomorrow. So they change. So now looking at what's on my brother.
If you got the thick complex or warrior, if you got
like just jealousy and inferiority complex. They are too jealous.
If they want to upgrade themselves, they want to be they want to upgrade themselves. They will do one proper. Say okay, nobody they fight you. Say say Alpha now only the new kid on any of the popular. Be like say my doing that. If you want to upgrade yourself, you are free to do it. Not be say you call the spread propaganda. They cause chaos. Even this guy, this boy that time, what they call this boy, this Eloghosa. Now he be the genesis of everything now.
Of course.
Now he started those nonsense, and now he be the person where we say they praise that time. I get a lot of a video for you. I feel send that for you, make the plan for you. So now he they pray 2020, 2021 to 2019. Now 2021, I heard all those things begin to bring a tribal hit. And I they pray, say, man, some people they are Benin. Nobody can separate that. They are all Benin, they speak a different language. This guy, he was fighting the Igbo that time. Fighting Biafra. They say, man, nobody can separate them. They are all brothers and sisters. They come from Oba of Benin, they are children of Oba of Benin. But later on, I don't know what they fight for, what they say the position where they fight for, what they not going to give one. Then he come begin the waiting don't eat come the vomit and come out again. Can you imagine?
Good morning, my brothers. I agree. I just want to talk something me and come down. Eloghosa, I beg. A man no can ye Antonio mo. Anytime like me, I'm trying to interrogate. A man move clear see.
Tony Omo.
Tony Omo, Oma clear say who interrogate we cannot carry because the platform na me in my own Titanic because you have to struggle to my Titanic. I know what this supposed stand for. So I don't really understand that man. And because if I be your come, so you don't come out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bring him up. Make us bring him up. He's here. Tony
Okay,
Omo.
bring him up.
Once again, I want to make an know that. Let's take a cabo for your this thing.
Where is him?
Uh-huh.
Can I say something, please?
Okay, say something. Say something. Okay. Say something like 2 minutes before we engage Tony Omo.
Okay. Thank you very much. See, you see this matter of all these Asian people, so
Introduce yourself, please, sir.
what I see for what they worry them, one.
No, don't insult them. Don't insult them, please. Don't
No,
insult
I'm not insulting
them.
anybody. I'm not insulting anybody now. I'm saying I'm saying the facts, what I feel and what I think that is making them to like misbehave. You understand? So I'm not giving insult to anyone, any person. You understand? So but the fact remains the same. All these people, jealousy, spirit of jealousy is in them. If you see them, they're in midst of Benin speaking person. They are not secure. They are always afraid.
They feel inferior.
If you follow them do business, 100 euro come out, machine and 50 euro, they will still feel more cheated. They will see the people cheat them. They feel like Benin people, we are very far ahead of them. They feel we are advanced more than them. Anything you do with them, they are always afraid. You understand? So they are not secure being around Benin people.
They are not comfortable. Yeah.
They are not comfortable. You understand? For me, it's not a bad thing. If you call me my brother, I call you my brother. If you see you're not my brother, I leave you. I stay with you in that way. You understand? Now when they force them, they call our brother. They are not calling us their brothers. You understand? Now me, personally, I like Esan right from the one. I have friends. I'm not hate. I'm not discriminate. I take them like many people. But all this one they call they do so, call they make me they get second thought about them. You understand? If some person, I give you some person house, he want come out, he carry my house, carry my water bill and light bill come out. I don't my brother, I leave him. I'm not drag him, leave him person my brother. But if not, they're not going to do it for you. If you want to carry house for their own self,
that way they cost you, it's not Benin, that way they cost you.
Yes. If you want, see my brother, if you want to carry out for their hands, you want to carry water for their hands, they don't see the Benin person, they don't give you, they say they don't give you. They don't give you. But Benin people will keep their hands, they will not give them. It's not, but at least they have to calm down because what they do so now here they want to create so because a lot of Asian artists where don't go now Benin people that bring the command.
Yes, thank you.
Come perform. We they go there, we they go to be the spray for them. Now people that bring they come. If they control like this, you don't go.
Thank you. Oh yeah, never go. You'll see talk later. Thomas Sakara and Tony Omo. You guys have the floor.
Okay, Domo, Tony Omo, no vessel. Get right for the CU. One day I see for Titanic platform. It did narrate our history. And you know what this will stand for. So that one got me to the think where is your origin? What do you stand for in this whole struggle? So as I see you here, I will get the opportunity to come up, make I come ask you. Thank you. If you get to talk about this accusation where I label against you, or meet your mic, explain to us.
So somehow, what I saw that day that I went up to that platform, there's one guy that's from Benin was misinterpreting our history. I didn't like it, and that is what Titanic wanted.